Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin is starting to bounce from this very important level of support on the daily time frame, as the price of Bitcoin is now starting to confirm a new signal in the short term that we need to pay attention to. So I'll be talking about that in just a moment, alongside Ethereum, which is also confirming the same short-term signal that we need to pay attention to, while XRP is starting to bounce from this final significant level of support again. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, just before taking a look at the Bitcoin and crypto charts today, taking a quick look at the US stock market, because obviously the stock market's opened back up again. It's the end of the weekend. This is the Monday trading day. And in case you're wondering, this is the S&P 500 index on the 1 hour time frame. And so far this week, we're starting the week with another short-term bullish move. Obviously, not necessarily a massive move, but at least some more bullish price action heading closer towards all-time highs, which can potentially help Bitcoin and crypto just in the short term while this is playing out. And so when I'm talking about the smaller time frames throughout this video for Bitcoin and crypto, looking at the short term situation, just keep this in mind. Once again, that can help Bitcoin and crypto just in the short term a little bit. And if we're taking a look at the Bitcoin charts today here on the weekly time frame, not a lot has changed over the last 1 day. This super chain indicator still sitting in the red, and technically we still have this massive bearish divergence to watch out for, not yet technically being invalidated. And of course, here on the daily time frame, because first of all, on the 3-day time frame, we did start to invalidate that bullish divergence over the last 1 day, which I explained in my last video. But here on the daily Bitcoin price chart, the price of Bitcoin right now is running into this crucial level of support here, sitting at around 85 to 86,000. And so far, we've seen an almost perfect bounce from almost exactly 86,000, just a few dollars, less than $100 above 86,000. And so obviously, at least for now, that's still acting as a major area of support to watch out for. Once again, at 85 to 86,000 as key support for the price of Bitcoin, based on previous support back here for this massive sideways price range on the daily time frame. And so basically right now, the price of Bitcoin is still in this same sideways price range that we've been in for multiple months, with the exception of that small little fake out just over a week ago. And of course, the resistance for this sideways price range is still sitting at around 92 to 94,000, especially that 94K level acting as a crucial level of resistance on the price chart. And if we're staying on the daily time frame, but comparing the current price action to what we saw around end of March entering into early April 2022, we could see obviously still very similar price structure right now on the price chart compared to what we saw back then in 2022. And now in my last few videos over the last few days, I've explained this comparison in more detail over the last few days once again. So if you're new to the channel, check out one of my last few videos here on this channel. But basically, once again, we're still technically repeating history. So overall on the daily time frame, not looking too good, but at least for now in the short term, once again, we are running into this support, which just in the short term is preventing more bearish price action. And if we're zooming further into the short term, taking a look at the 6-hour Bitcoin price chart, we can see that right now the price of Bitcoin is obviously bouncing from this support here, once again, give or take 86,000, especially in between 86.5K to 87K here in the short term. That is an area of support to watch out for. And as for resistance, if we were to see a further bounce here, expect a lot of resistance in between around 90,000 to 90.5K. And of course, massive resistance at give or take 94,000. And just in the short term, talking about maybe the next couple of days, that sort of time frame, it is likely that the price could either play out a slight little bullish relief or maybe just some choppy sideways price action. So don't necessarily expect a massive high momentum movement towards the upside. Don't necessarily expect a lot of strength in the market, but do expect just a little bit of a break or a little bit of a relief from all of this bearish price action here, most likely just in the next few days or so, just in the short term here. And I'm saying that for a few different reasons. First of all, as I said in the beginning of the video, we have the US stock market playing out another bullish move, which can help Bitcoin and crypto play out a bit of a bullish move or some sort of relief in the short term. So that alone can potentially help crypto. But on top of that, obviously, we're bouncing from this support here on the daily time frame and this support here in the short term. And on top of those reasons, we've also just now confirmed a new bullish divergence here on the 6-hour Bitcoin price chart, with lower lows confirmed in the price in the candle closes and higher lows now confirmed in the 6-hour Bitcoin RSI. And so obviously this bullish divergence is the opposite to this previous bearish divergence, and we saw what happened last time we confirmed this bearish divergence here. Now obviously it doesn't mean we're going to necessarily see a bullish move of that size back up towards these highs, but it just does mean that we're likely going to see either a slight bullish relief or at worst maybe some choppy sideways price action. Just a bit of a break or a relief from all of the bearish price action is ultimately my prediction, just in the short term, talking about maybe the next few days or so. And if you want to actually trade these moves in the price of Bitcoin or any crypto, you need to be set up ready to go on a crypto exchange. And if you use the first link below the video in the description and in the pinned comment, that first link below the video will take you to the 2bit crypto exchange, which by the way is also a no KYC exchange. And right now, just recently, 2bit's partnered with La Liga. So right now there's currently an 800,000 USD competition or event happening right now over on 2bit, where basically just by trading crypto, you can claim a bunch of prizes over here over on 2bit. So if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check this out. You might as well take advantage of this. Once again, first link below the video to 2bit. And remember, 2bit is also a no KYC exchange. But if you want another option out there, another exchange that I also use to also claim some extra bonuses on, then in that situation, check out the second link below the video in the description and in the pinned comment, because the second link below this video will take you to this page right here over on the Pinex crypto exchange, which once again is also another exchange that I personally use myself. And currently there's a 1000 USDT bonus plus an extra 50 USDT bonus here. So first of all, if you simply make your account using that link below the video to Pinex, the second link below the video, and complete KYC, you get a 50 USDT bonus onto your account. And on top of that, there's deposit bonuses all the way up to 1000 USDT. So if you deposit as little as 100 USDT, you get a 100 USDT bonus on your account. If you deposit 10,000, you get a 1000 USDT bonus onto your Pinex account. So obviously, once again, if you're going to be trading crypto anyway or getting set up ready to go to take that next potential trading opportunity, definitely take advantage of this if you want to, because it's basically free money from the exchanges, once again, using the link below the video. But unfortunately, if you don't use that link below the video to Pinex, you can't claim any of these bonuses. So you might as well do that. Once again, second link below the video to Pinex, first link below the video to 2bits. But if we're taking a quick look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map right now, just in the shorter term situation, looking at the last 1 week worth of price action, we have a new level of liquidity building just below the price, and also an area of liquidity above the price to watch out for. And so first of all, the level of liquidity towards the downside is sitting at around 85.8k to 85.9k. So obviously just under 86,000. That is a possible price target, obviously a level of liquidity to watch out for. And as for this upside liquidity, it's really a larger area in between roughly 91.3k to 93.3k, with most of the liquidity sitting at around 92,000 and also at just above 93,000. And in case you're new to all of this, usually, not always, but usually the price of Bitcoin tends to be drawn towards where we have a lot of liquidity. So think of these levels on the price chart as kind of like magnets, which can pull the price towards those levels to wipe out those levels. So just keep that in mind. Those are some key levels to watch out for on the price chart. But with this bullish divergence and also bouncing from support, and of course, with the stock market continuing this pump here, overall, my prediction just in the short term is a little bit more of a relief as a very likely scenario here. And if we're taking a quick look at the Bitcoin dominance chart on the daily time frame, obviously just in the last 1 day, we're starting to see a slight little drop, which means a lot of the major altcoins out there can maybe slightly outperform Bitcoin while we're seeing this little drop in the Bitcoin dominance. But overall, in terms of this larger trend or price structure that we're in, we're clearly looking very neutral, basically just bouncing around relatively sideways between support and resistance. First of all, this support is still sitting at around 58.5% to almost 59%. And then we do have a lot of resistance at pretty much exactly 60% in the Bitcoin dominance, and more resistance in between 60.5% to 61%. And so at least for now, while the Bitcoin dominance is still kind of just bouncing around relatively sideways here, expect very similar performance for a lot of the major altcoins out there on average compared to what Bitcoin is doing, which means, of course, if if Bitcoin has this pullback and then right now maybe starting a little bit more of a relief that could likely play out over the next few days, obviously expect something very similar to that for a lot of the major altcoins out there on average. But with that being said, taking a look at Ethereum on the daily time frame, that's exactly what we're seeing right now for Ethereum. Obviously over the last 1 week, it followed Bitcoin with that pullback over the last 1 week, but right now just in the short term, we are indeed seeing just a shorter term bullish move, which if of course Bitcoin follows and continues this short term bullish move here, Ethereum will likely follow Bitcoin with of course a continued short term bullish move in the coming days. And as for support and resistance to watch out for, of course, we still have a lot of support at close to 2.8k, really in between 2750 to 2.8k, which is exactly where the price just saw a bounce from over the last 1 day, from that exact area of support here. And as for resistance, in case we continue a little bit more of a bounce in the short term over the coming days, which could be very likely, of course, we have a lot of resistance at around $3,040 to $3,050, but really in between 3,000 to 3.1k, expect a lot of struggle, a lot of resistance around there on the price chart. And if we're staying on the daily time frame for Ethereum, but zooming in a little bit, we could see right now on this daily Ethereum price chart, the price is currently, as of recording this video, retesting this previous ascending line of support. And so this is definitely a make or break moment for the price of Ethereum, at least when we're talking about the shorter term situation for what we might be expecting over the coming days or weeks, because obviously over the last 1 day, we officially confirmed this daily candle close below this ascending line of support for obviously the first time since we started forming this support back in November last year. And so obviously that is a breakdown in this higher low price structure, a breakdown below a key line of support, which is of course a bearish signal. But like I just said a moment ago, this is the make or break moment. We're retesting this previous support to possibly flip it into new resistance, but we're still in the test phase as recorded in this video, which means we've not yet fully confirmed a breakout back above or fully confirmed this as resistance. We're still in the test phase. And so the next 1 day or so, especially the next 1 to 2 days, will likely be very important for the price of ETH to determine once again what we should be expecting maybe over the next 1 or 2 weeks, because obviously if we start, for example, rejecting from this level and fail to get back above this level, then that would actually further confirm the break towards the downside, further confirming more bearish price structure, flipping previous support into new resistance. And in that situation, of course, we could be looking at lower targets. But if we actually confirm the breakout back above this level, which by the way is sitting at around 2940, 2,940, if we break out back above that level with a daily candle close above that level and actually hold above this support again, in that situation, that would invalidate this break towards the downside, and of course would be a short-term bullish signal pointing towards a continued bullish move towards the next points of resistance. And so basically we just have to wait and see what happens at this particular line right here on the price chart over the next 1 or 2 days. And if we're taking a look at the shorter term here on the 6-hour time frame, one signal that just now officially confirmed over the last few hours, over the last 1 day, which could help Ethereum with a possible breakout above this line on the daily time frame, is of course a bullish divergence following Bitcoin forming, of course, this bullish divergence and confirming this new bullish divergence on the 6-hour Bitcoin price chart. Once again, we now have the same signal confirmed on the 6-hour Ethereum price chart. And so as usual, a bearish divergence like what we saw over a week ago here tells us that we're running out of bullish momentum and we're likely going to see a lot of weakness, lacking bullish momentum, which means most likely some bearish price action, or at best, maybe some sideways price action. And obviously that's exactly what we saw after confirming this bearish divergence. But of course, a bullish divergence is the opposite to that. So it means we're likely now going to see a break from all of this bearish price action here, which means expect most likely a bit of bullish price action, not necessarily a massive high momentum movement towards the upside, but a bit of bullish price action will be quite likely, or maybe at worst, just some sideways price action. So basically a bit of a break or a relief from all of this bearish price action is very likely now if we're talking about the next few days, the next couple of days, especially as Bitcoin and stocks continue these short-term bullish reliefs. And if we're taking a look at Solana on the daily time frame, of course, Solana is just simply following Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. with these short-term bounces right now after, of course, that pullback over the last 1 week. So ultimately, just pay attention to what Bitcoin is doing to figure out what is likely going to happen for Solana and a lot of these major altcoins. But when it comes to support and resistance to watch out for, of course, over the last one day, we did actually hold this key level of support here, which is important support for the price of Solana, and that's sitting at around 117 to 118 approximately based on this previous low. And if the price of Solana actually failed to hold that level as support, if we started confirming, for example, candle closes on the daily time frame below 117, and especially if we failed to get back above that level, in that situation, the next target towards the downside would be at give or take $100. But once again, right now, we're still holding this support at 117 to 118, which at least for now is some good news. And like I said earlier, obviously with Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc., seeing those short-term bounces and potentially likely going to continue over the next few days, this can likely help Solana with just a slight little relief here in the short term, maybe over the next few days. And so talking about points of resistance to watch out for along the way towards the upside here, right now, as of recording this video, we're currently running into a possible point of resistance based on previous support and also a little bit of resistance here, now likely acting as resistance in between roughly 124 to 125. So expect likely some resistance around there. But if we continue a breakout beyond 125 with confirmation and hold above that level, in that situation, the next target to watch out for would be at just above 130, around 133 to 134, give or take, as a point of resistance to watch out for. And above that, we have a very significant area of resistance in between 143 to 147. And if we're taking a look at the price of XRP on the weekly time frame, obviously not a lot has changed over the last one day on this weekly XRP price chart, because we still have this massive bearish divergence here, technically still in play, not yet been invalidated, which means overall, when we're talking about the bigger picture here, not the short-term moves, still expect a lot of weakness, lacking bullish momentum. But the shorter term situation is, of course, that right now the price of XRP is once again running into really the final significant level of support, sitting at around $1.80. Obviously, that's a level of support that I've talked about for a very long time now on the channel and is still acting as support. Obviously, we're seeing yet another bounce from that around $1.80 level, obviously, and we can see that here on the daily time frame, an almost perfect bounce from around $1.80 within about 1 cent from $1.80 is exactly where we bounced from. And so that's why I talked about over the last couple of days, even though we're pretty much on the edge of a possible massive break towards the downside, we've not yet fully confirmed the break below $1.80, which means there is still the possibility we could continue to find some more support at that level and see further bounces from $1.80. So just keep that in mind. Obviously, we've not yet broken that level, but like I explained in more detail in my last video, if the price of XRP actually starts breaking below $1.80, and especially if we fail to get back above that level, in that situation, that would likely cause a massive collapse in the price in the coming weeks or months. But for now, once again, this is some good news for the price of XRP, telling us that right now, obviously, we're still holding this as support. And like I've been saying throughout the video, with stocks seeing a bit more of a bullish relief, with Bitcoin confirming this bullish divergence, bouncing from support, Ethereum confirming a bullish divergence, etc., etc., obviously, that will likely help XRP with a little bit of a bounce, maybe just a slight little break from all of the bearish price action here. Remember, don't necessarily expect a massive amount of strength or a massive amount of bullish momentum, but just a bit of a break or a relief from all of the bearish price action is quite likely just for the next few days, talking about the short-term situation. And as for possible points of resistance to watch out for, now that we're seeing a bit of a bounce, we'll likely find some resistance at around $1.94, give or take. And above that, we have a lot of resistance at around $2.05. More resistance at $2.17 and massive resistance in between $2.30 to $2.40. And if we're taking a look at the price of Chainlink on the daily time frame, obviously right now, and as I always say, Chainlink is still following very similar price action to whatever Bitcoin is doing, as a lot of these major altcoins do. So with Bitcoin obviously having that pullback over the last 1 week, but right now in the short term starting a little bit of a relief, Chainlink is just basically following the exact same price action. So we'll likely continue a little bit of a relief, maybe a slight bullish move or some choppy sideways price action in the next few days is a very likely scenario, while Bitcoin's playing out that sort of price action over the next few days. And as for potential points of resistance to watch out for, now that we're seeing a slight little bullish move, expect some resistance at around $12 to $12.10 based on previous significant support, now flipping into new resistance. But if we see a breakout beyond $12 to $12.10, in that situation, the next resistance would likely be sitting at around $12.70 to $12.80. And above that, expect significant resistance at around $13.30 to $13.50. And another reason as to why we're likely going to see just a slight little relief, either a slight bullish move or choppy sideways price action in the next few days for the price of Chainlink, is due to the fact that Chainlink also just confirmed a new bullish divergence here on the 6-hour time frame. We've now officially confirmed lower lows in the price in the candle closes, and of course higher lows now confirmed in the 6-hour Chainlink RSI, which means overall, just for the next few hours or days, most likely the next couple of days, we're likely going to see just a slight little relief. Once again, not necessarily a significant amount of strength or bullish momentum, but just a slight bullish move is very likely. Maybe a bit of choppy sideways price action here and there is really the most common outcomes, the most likely outcomes from a bullish divergence. So overall, that's my exact prediction over the next few days, talking about the short term. And once again, if you want to trade any of these moves in the price of any crypto, check out those links below this video to those exchanges if you want to take advantage of massive bonuses that you can claim using those links if you want to. So if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well take advantage of those extra bonuses using those links. But if you want to actually know how you can trade these sort of moves, no matter what direction the price goes for the price of any crypto, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions. And the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.